Good evening, everybody. How are you all doing tonight? This is the Club of Demand 1993, and we are here live for just in the past year since SummerSlam 2021. Just the second time I'm doing a full-on WWE preview and predictions for this upcoming pay-per-view this coming Saturday, July 30th, 2022. Strange, we're having SummerSlam in July. 2 pay-per-views in July for WWE, but none in August. But yes, this, for the first time since WrestleMania 38, we got WWE SummerSlam 2022 live review. It's going to take place this coming Saturday, July 30th, 2022, once again, at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, Tennessee. We're going to take a look as this is going to be, as I called this past week, well, earlier when I did my Vince McMahon retirement stream, this is going to be kind of a show that is not going to quite feel like it's transitioned much into the new era. Like I said, the stories are still Vince's. The build was still Vince's. A lot of the stuff that we're going to see is still Vince's. Like, Raw this past week and SmackDown tomorrow night were all scripts, I believe, that were prepared by Vince. So, you know, and I keep saying this, and a lot of people keep saying this. If WWE is going to get better, with Triple H in control creative now, with Stephanie and Nick Khan in charge of the business side, and whatnot, it is going to take time. I am interested, though, right now, to see if it does transition to a much more better and a not so much intelligence-insulting product. Which is why I said in my stream earlier this week, there is a good chance next week you may see a Raw and SmackDown review. Because I am intrigued. I want to give, the rebuild a chance. And again, I know it's going to take time. I don't expect things to happen overnight. But, again, I also know that I am at least going to get a product that I know that they're trying to put on a good show. And they're not going to try to insult our intelligence. Yes, they're still going to make, some decisions that we're not going to agree with. This show, like I said too, is still going to have like a Vince McMahon vibe to it because the stories going in there were all based off of his build. But I'm interested. And again, don't be surprised if this coming week, if I do a Raw and SmackDown review. Again, I don't plan on doing NXT right now. I do not have the time. And I'm that absent from the product. I mean, I know of some names who are there, of course, but I'm that absent from the product that I just don't know what would heck be going on. So something, if NXT wants me to start talking again, I gotta get, I'm paying attention a little more to like some highlights of what was going on, but nothing's really making me want to give up the time. Especially since Tuesdays usually are my trivia nights. I was gonna try to review Raw and SmackDown this week. Because that's not quite the start of the transition to the new era. But the main reason why I did is because I wouldn't have been able to review SmackDown tomorrow, and I had to do my SummerSlam predictions tonight because I'm not gonna have time tomorrow, and I'm also not gonna have time on Saturday before the show. So because of that, I didn't bring back Raw and SmackDown reviews this week, but I'm gonna try to next week. But again, I can't guarantee they're going to be around all the time. But like I said, I want to give this new creative team a chance. But we'll talk about SummerSlam now. As, of course, my excitement for the shows maybe changed slightly. I'm not still that excited for SummerSlam. One of my favorite matches for the show is not happening now, kayfabe-wise, which I'm not going to bitch about it. I can understand, where they're going with it. I thought first they did the angle they did on Raw this past week to, protect one person in the loss. We'll talk about it. Do I think there's going to be a replacement? I don't know. We'll talk about that when we get to it too. But like I said, I think this show is still going to kind of have like the Vince vibes to it. There's going to be some stuff that we're not going to agree with. There's going to be some very goofy things. Like, SummerSlam basically is Vince's show right now. But after starting next week, I think we will start to see a transition somewhat of hopefully, things getting better. The other problem was I have is we were relying on multiple celebrity people, like Logan Paul. Ugh. Pat McAfee, I'll give them Pat. Logan Paul, though, no. And for the millionth and hopefully last time, better be the last time, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. And of course, will we get a cash-in from Austin Theory? We will talk about that, of course, later on. But I do have this I want to do. I did not get to watch the first hour of Dynamite last night, so I do want to watch that and try to review that tonight as well. I have a couple little shorts I want to do as well in there here too. So tonight is going to be a little bit of a content night. But like I said, I'm not going to be able to do anything tomorrow or Saturday before SummerSlam. Depends how tired I get home from my friends. It will determine if I do my review Saturday or not. But of course, like I said, I wanted to at least get this done now. Then I'll do the rest, whatever I can afterwards. But first, let's check the live chat. We seem to have a little bit of an active live chat. We've got Wrestling News 365. What's up? Thanks for joining me again. He seems to be a little bit more of a loyal subscriber lately. He says, who do you think Seth Rollins' mystery opponent is going to be? Now, will Johnny come back and wrestle Seth Rollins at SummerSlam? I will get to that when we get to that match. What's up, Tyler? He wants Charlotte to come back and Ronda Horseface to be fired. Tyler really does not like Ronda. We'll talk about Ronda as well. Please end this Roman Brock never-ending feud. I've been begging for it to happen. But of course, since Brock walked out, because if Vince is gone, he is gone, we may very well be so. So maybe. We got Juggernaut 97, new one. So what's up? What's up? Thanks for joining. We also got Chris LeClaire. Thank you for joining us as well. You're new too. Do you think Bayley will return at SummerSlam? Bayley's due back soon. I would say, I don't know if she'll come back at this show. I mean, they could have her come back and maybe, tease a feud with Bianca, only because her and Bianca were supposed to have that I Quit match last year. But even that match has kind of been overdone. And I don't know if she'll return and maybe, confront Liv or Ronda, whoever wins that match. Because of my prediction I have for that. But Bayley should be back any day now. I'm surprised. I thought Bayley would be back by the Raw or SmackDown after Mania. I'm very surprised she's not back yet. But I think it should be soon. If not, I think we'll probably not have that maybe until the draft. If there is one. I haven't heard yet there's going to be another draft yet or not. Let me see here. Triple H said he wants to do something big for SummerSlam this year. Ooh, we'll have to wait and see what it is. Tyler hates I Quit matches. I love them. Bayley is scheduled to be at SummerSlam. Well, if she is, excellent. I just don't know I can't talk. I just don't quite know what she would do. But if she comes back, does something good, all power to her. I'm just surprised she hasn't come back yet. But let's get into the matches. We have 9 matches as of today. One that was just added this past week on Raw. So of course I will put them in order of how I think they're going to be done. So I think we need to open up with a tag team match. Holla holla player. That is the Usos, the undisputed tag team champions, taking on the Street Profits, Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, with Jeff Jarrett as the special guest referee. This match is going to be good. Like I said, their Money in the Bank match was excellent. Like the moment these two, when the Street Profits came to the main roster, them and New Day, them and Usos, I knew they'd have good chemistry, and they do. Their Money in the Bank match, like I said, it felt like a tale of two matches. Like when the momentum slowed down at one point, it felt like the match started back up again. If that wasn't the case, that was a classic match. But then they had the finish where it looked like, I think it was Montez Ford's shoulder was up and the referee missed it. So now they have a special guest referee, and it's just Jeff Jarrett. Which is like, meh, like, celebrity appearance. I don't know, it's Jeff Jarrett from Nashville or something, but disappointed me, of course. I definitely wanted some sort of a stipulation for this. I thought they should have done a ladder match. Especially if a pinfall from Money in the Bank was the issue with the last match. Why not do a ladder match? You know, these guys do high flying. Imagine the stunts Montez Ford would do on a ladder. I mean, we got to taste that. I believe it was TakeOver 25 when it was that fatal 4-way ladder match. It was the Street Profits, Undisputed Era, I think the Forgotten Sons, and Brit Arm Brawlers. That was excellent ladder match. I still think one of my favorite ladder matches, though, is still definitely the one from New Orleans with the crowning of the first ever undisputed NXT North American champion. But the match will still be good, but I just wish there was a more interesting stipulation behind it. Like Jeff Jarrett being special guest referee, I'm like, whatever. But for a fresh start, I think this should be the time the Usos drop the tag titles and put them on the Street Profits. Street Profits haven't had the titles for a while. You know, I think they deserve a couple more reigns as tag champions. Yes, at some point, I do want to see Montez Ford get a singles run. Like, he has spectacular singles potential. It's not time yet to split them up. Plus, two, there's no tag teams. Especially with this new era, lead some of these tag teams together and, you know, brush them up a little bit. You know, clean them up. Well, we have a lot of mess to clean up, of course, with the creative and whatnot. So, I definitely... I'm thinking the Street Profits should win. And again, no offense to the Usos. You know, they've had a great run, for the most part. But again, the only problem I have is they've lost how many matches? Especially in non-title matches. That's the thing I'm excited about, too, with Triple H taking over. I'm pretty sure champions losing in non-title matches is going to slow down a lot. But I think it's time to put the titles back on the Street Profits. They haven't had the titles, I think, since for like 2 years when they dropped them to the Dirty Dogs. So, yeah, I'm going to say Street Profits win the tag titles to open up the show. Like I said, I wish they would have done like a ladder match or something, but this would be a nice hot opener for SummerSlam. The next match is, I, of course, did not expect this match whatsoever to happen. But we're getting it. I haven't, of course, seen any of the Build Dogs. I haven't watched SmackDown in a few weeks, but Liv Morgan and the champion, the SmackDown Women's Champion, Liv Morgan, and Ronda Rousey for the SmackDown Women's Championship in a rematch. Since Liv cashed in on Ronda when Ronda's knee got taken out with her match against Natalya at Money in the Bank, still can't believe Liv cashed in on Ronda and won successfully. Now, again, I have not seen the build at all to this match, so I can't judge it too much. But I'm very interested to see where this one goes. Because, of course, Triple H took over. But a lot of people are thinking they may swerve us and go with Liv, which I'm not going to rule it out. I think what this feud needs to accomplish, and let me just say this way. First off, we all have Ronda's best friend, Tyler, in the live chat here. Sorry, buddy, I had to tease you about that. But I, again, will continuously say, I definitely have been disappointed by Ronda in this run. She just hasn't seemed like she's in. She's phoning it in. Her promo skills have dropped drastically. Hopefully with new creative, hopefully she does, you know, work with like Paul Heyman again or something like that to help her improve her promo skills. But I don't know if it's because, you know, she's a mother now and she, you know, is just distracted by being a mother or what. But again, her heart is just not in like it was before. I mean, the best thing she's done, I'd say, is that I Quit match against Charlotte at WrestleMania Backlash. That was an excellent match and should have main evented the show. And I did hear also they were back and forth about bringing her back as a face or a heel. That's why she acted the way she did when she came out on Raw after the Rumble this year. But then she was smiling like a baby face. She was a baby face on SmackDown later that week. So I think what they need to do here is protect Liv Morgan, but I don't see her retaining. I think what they should do is this should end somewhat almost similar to TakeOver Orlando. When Asuka first faced Ember Moon, she didn't do like a full heel turn, but she did like a soft heel tactic that showed that she had to go a little bit out of bounds to win. I think if they're going to turn Ronda heel, they should like do it slowly. So I wouldn't say have her go like full on heel, but obviously like tell the story where Liv puts up a better fight against Ronda than we thought would happen, and have like Ronda do like a soft heel tactic for her to win the title back. Because if the plan is still to do Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey one-on-one at WrestleMania next year, which I do think should happen, we need that match one-on-one. We've never gotten it one-on-one because Becky got hurt thanks to Nia Jax. Don't bring her back. And and of course then we're supposed to get a WrestleMania, but then of course they had to insert Charlotte into the match also. But yes, I think, again, this match has to start the slow turn of Ronda Rousey. And like I said, I think she will win by like a soft tactic to still protect Liv a little bit. Because I do know Triple H is very high on Liv Morgan. And, you know, again, Liv will improve if you give her victories. So like I said, I'd hate to see her already lose the title. But like I said, I think, you know, to protect her, have you be like a slow heel tactic. Like, I don't know, maybe put her foot on a rope or something. Or, you know, just like something not too like drastic to make her a full heel yet, but something to like tease that a heel turn is coming. So that's what I'm going to say. I think we're going to have 2 title changes. That is the only 2 I predicted in this show, right? It looks like it is, yes. So have 2 the title change hands back to Ronda, but it'd be like a slow, soft heel tactic, I feel like, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Come at me in the live chat. I know I probably piss a lot of people off, but that's just what I think is going to happen. Because I really don't. I can somewhat see Liv retaining, but I'm not as confident about Liv retaining. But again, with new creative, they may do something different, because Liv is pretty popular. But that's my opinion. But yes, that's my pick. Match number 3 is a rematch from Money in the Bank, which I'm surprised we're getting this. Bobby Lashley versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. Very surprised we're doing this match, because I really thought they were going to do Austin Theory versus John Cena. And with Austin Theory now being Mr. Money in the Bank, it would have been a little interesting as well, and big stipulation in a fresh match. This, though, it's whatever. I mean, Bobby's going to win. I don't see him drop. I don't see Theory beating him. I thought that maybe Theory would have beaten him at Money in the Bank, but I don't think that he's going to win. Especially if they're going to, if he does, or at least teases a cash-in in the main event. But I think Bobby's retaining. I mean, I don't know who will take the title off of him, but I think he's retaining. The match at Money in the Bank was actually pretty solid, I thought, so it should be another solid match. But Bobby Lashley, I think, will retain here with this match. Oh, man. Let's talk about this match. Probably the match I am the least... Well, one of the matches I'm definitely not that excited about. Logan Paul. Babyface. Logan Paul versus The Miz. Like I said, the problem I have with this show is we're having multiple matches like this, and even Pat McAfee and Happy Corbin, even though I'll give that one a little bit more credit, because I do like Pat McAfee a lot more than Logan Paul. But So we all know that Logan Paul really is not a likable person to begin with. But they're pushing him as a babyface. And they sign him to a deal. And, oh, God. And then they're having segments on Raw where all they talk about is Miz's tiny balls. That's something else I'm hoping Vince McMahon takes away. Triple H takes away is these random comedy segments that were obviously written just for Vince to laugh at. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the scripts for Raw and SmackDown this week still had, Vince, influence on them because they just wanted to keep things how they were going into SummerSlam. But again, the whole stuff with Miz and his tiny balls has to stop. It was funny for a little bit with Matt Riddle, but then after a while, it just got. It wasn't funny anymore because they overdid it. But Logan Paul's winning this. There's no secret. Logan Paul's winning this, but they better not have him as a long-term babyface if he is really going to be working full-time. But because he is definitely much more meant to be a heel. Credit where credit is due. Yes, he looked good in his match at WrestleMania 38 against the Mysterios. But again, he's just not meant to be a babyface. He really isn't. Ugh, and I'm yawning now. Crap. So yeah, that is that match. I don't have much else to say about this match. I don't really care about it. I want to take a breather just for a second. I want to go get a drink of water or something because I am feeling a slight bit heavy-eyed. So just to wake me up a tad bit, and then we'll come back because the next is going to be a match that was already been canceled, but we're going to talk about it anyways to see the possibilities of what they may do. So I'll be right back. Just hang on 1 second. Alright, I'm back. Before we move on, let's check the live chat, because the last 5 matches, most of them are a little bit more interesting. I could have something interesting to them. Let me see what we got here. I think we were at, okay, you know the deal. What's up? If I don't see Ric Flair smash Jeff Jarrett with a guitar, what's the point? But we're talking about him being the special guest referee. I agree. I really don't get what the point of Jeff Jarrett being there is. Chris says, I can see Usos lose and Roman Reigns retains. You got the same predictions as I do. Wrestling News 365. When do you think Kaylee Ray will make her main roster debut, or will Triple H bring her to the main roster? I don't know. And again, like I said, I know she's in NXT. And I know her real name now is Alba Fire. That's another Vince thing. Because again, apparently Vince short people's names or changed them to something that he could remember. But I mean, definitely wish Alba Fire is just an awkward sounding thing. So I don't know. I mean, she's been down there in regular NXT for a year, and I mean, I don't think you're going to put the title on her. So maybe the draft, maybe I don't know. But like I said, I haven't watched NXT, so I don't quite know how much she's progressed. Maybe like at the draft. Maybe we'll see. And Chris says, if Liv Morgan loses, I will stop watching wrestling. Oh man, so we have another Ronda Rousey hater in the house. But hey, how'd you feel, man? It's totally cool. And I won't be upset either if Liv retains. It's just like I said, I think that this feud is meant to help transition Ronda into being a heel. Because Becky and Ronda at WrestleMania next year needs to be Becky as the face, Ronda as the heel. And this show right here should even more try to, transition that as well. But let's go to match number 5, which has been canceled. well, postponed at least. We were supposed to get Matt Riddle versus Seth Rollins, which I was definitely, very excited for. This is probably one of the matches I was probably the most hyped for. Unfortunately, though, I've heard it's due to the kayfabe injury on Raw from Seth Rollins viciously stomping Matt Riddle face first into the steel steps while he was hanging over the crooked stairs or whatnot. So that was a great way to kind of, sell for this. I thought maybe they would still... originally, before the match was announced as postponed, I originally thought that because of that, it was going to have Matt Riddle be wounded and Seth Rollins would still get the victory here. Now here's the thing. I think Seth Rollins needs a victory. I mean, I know I want to see Matt Riddle get put over. He's definitely had, even though he's lost a lot of matches, he's had a ton of momentum behind him. But especially when I hear that Seth Rollins apparently has the most losses in 2022, which that really surprised me because I really didn't think he's been pinned that much this year. Well, besides being pinned several times by Cody Rhodes and whatnot. But that's why I thought, okay, I think we have to throw Seth a bone here, I think. Let me see here. So, but of course that match has been canceled, postponed because of that kayfabe injury. As far as a replacement, here's the thing. I would like to see, a guy like Johnny Gargano come back to face Seth Rollins. Fresh match, that'd be awesome. Maybe Bray Wyatt comes back and faces Seth Rollins. Who knows? Maybe Cody Rhodes will show back up and face Seth Rollins for the umpteenth time again. I don't know. But then I also thought the problem is, if any of those guys come back, I would want them to beat Seth. Right now, I feel like Seth could use a victory because he's lost how many pay-per-view matches in a row. And Matt Riddle has had some victories on pay-per-view matches this year as well. So I feel like, he could have taken a protected loss in this match. Because that's what I was originally going to predict, is Seth Rollins pinning Matt Riddle. But the feud still continues and Matt Riddle does eventually get his comeuppance to get the victory over Seth. So now it's hard, because I even thought maybe Seth Rollins and Dolph Ziggler, because Ziggler just turned face, and to get him going in this feud with Austin Theory. But once again, he'd have to lose. And then I thought maybe we can do AJ Styles and Seth Rollins. I don't think we've done AJ Styles and Seth Rollins with AJ as the face and Rollins as the heel. I think we've done it a couple times on Raw. Well, no, I'm sorry. We did have it on Raw recently in the Money in the Bank qualifying match. But as far as a pay-per-view match, come on. Remember the match at Money in the Bank 2019 for the Universal title? Face on face. Awesome match. Awesome match. I loved it. I absolutely loved that match. But again, then there's AJ also who hasn't won a single match either on pay-per-view this year, I don't think. I'm not reading all the comments, but I do see, so what about Seth Rollins versus the returning Edge? Maybe? I don't know. It doesn't quite feel quite as fresh. So, honest to Pete, I really don't know who Seth would have a match against that, would be the right thing. I don't know. Maybe... Or, I even thought, what if they brought back Randy Orton? But I don't think Randy's going to be back until the beginning of 2023. It'd be a nice surprise. But, I don't know. But I think no matter what happens, I feel Seth should get the victory with whoever he faces, which is why I'm not too sure who he should face. But you guys can mention it in the live chat as well. We'll of course check on it. Well, actually, let me check. If there's only one other comment from Tyler. Here's what I got for you. Seth should face AJ here at SummerSlam. Winner faces Roman in the main event if Brock left. Which could work, yes. I mean, technically, even though it'd still be heel on heel, Roman and Seth technically do have some unfinished business from the Rumble. Or if AJ got the victory, we could get the long way match I've wanted. Roman Reigns and AJ Styles. We've only had that match twice, one-on-one in 2016. That's when they were both baby faces. And this is a much more, refreshed AJ Styles and a much more improved Roman Reigns. So, I would have loved to see that if that would happen. Sadly, I think Brock is still showing up. He may not give a crap. Who knows? But who knows? Seth should face Kevin Owens at SummerSlam. I don't know. I mean, we Seth and Kevin, though, have had a little too many matches, I feel, in my opinion, as well. If it happens, it'll still be solid, but not too sure about that. Like I said, I really can't find a super satisfying match. Because like I said, the biggest thing is I feel Seth should get the victory here, in my opinion. But we'll see. Maybe one of them could happen. I'm not going to complain if it's any of those guys. And I'm not going to bitch if Seth loses. It's just that when I heard that he's had 50 losses, I'm like, or he's had the most losses, I'm like, he kind of should get a victory at some point to store some credibility as well. Or else he's not going to feel like a credible, wrestler to fight and have people put over. Because eventually he is going to put over Matt Riddle. But, Match number 6. Speaking of history, Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch. Raw Women's Championship. The story, of course, goes back to 1 year ago when Becky Lynch returned at SummerSlam after an 18-month absence going on maternity leave. And shocked us all by turning heel and beating Bianca in 26 seconds with a manhandle slam. And of course, it's been a story of, Bianca trying to, get her grits back together. She got to WrestleMania and she beat Becky there. She even won and beat Becky at her own game in the triple threat match at Hell in a Cell. So they've had their encounters, but it's one more time, one-on-one. I believe, let's see, they had the match at SummerSlam. They had a match at Extreme Rules. Did they have one or two matches on Raw last fall before Becky feuded with Liv? Well, I know they had at least one. I thought there was a second one. I don't know. But, sorry. But, they've had good matches, but I'm ready to see something new. Quite frankly, what I think should happen, and like I keep saying, is it will make much more sense. Because the thing that I'm so intrigued by this is the story about Becky Lynch hitting rock bottom. And like I said, I personally think, Becky Lynch as a heel doesn't have a lot of mileage. Becky needs to be a natural again and be a babyface. So, again, keep the story going of Becky Lynch hitting rock bottom and having her transition back to being a babyface. I think Bianca should do what Becky did to her last year. Beat her in like 30 seconds. Beat her in like 30 seconds, that's it. Because like I said, if there's no stipulation, how much better is her match going to be? It could still be a good match, but like Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, it's not going to feel special because we've seen it how many times. So, I personally think this should be a quick match. Like a 30-second match, maybe. Bianca Belair retains. Now, originally, since they merged the tag titles as well, I thought they were going to do at SummerSlam this year, Bianca Belair and Ronda Rousey to merge the women's titles, which would have been great, but we didn't get that. Not this time. Maybe sometime down the line, because that's a match I actually would like to see. Like I said, have Liv and Ronda have like a slow, soft, basically have a spark, light a small spark with the Ronda Rousey heel turn. And this one here, have Becky Lynch hit complete rock bottom and start to show cracks. And, get her back up to being a babyface. Which she should be, in my opinion. So that's that match. Match number 7. Oh boy. This one's going to be interesting. We've got the Mysterios, Rey and Dominic, father and son, taking on the Judgment Days, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, and of course with the returning Rhea Ripley in their corner. Let me just say this. The stable with the Judgment Day definitely feels hollow. It doesn't feel like, there's much behind it right now. With Triple H, though, in charge of creative. I mean, somewhat Damian Priest, but especially Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley. Those are two people I think Triple H believes can easily carry a show. Especially with how he booked them in NXT, of course. So, those are two, and of course, maybe as well Damian Priest. I think Triple H is really, really, really going to, they're going to probably be some of the first names that Triple H gets back on track, in my opinion. With that being said, I could see a couple of scenarios happening. Most of these, though, are ideas that Vince would come up with, I feel like. Which, okay, all of them could, of course. But here's what I think. Here's 3 possible scenarios I think will happen. The biggest one I think that will happen. Well, there's a 4th one. That's stupid. Here's the dumb one that I think would happen. That would make this match complete pointless. This is a no disqualification tag team match. Obviously, it's 3-on-2. Because of Rhea Ripley. The two I can see interfering. Edge to make it 3-on-3, even though I'm pretty sure none of the men are going to fight Rhea, but Rhea looking like a badass taking out the men is actually pretty awesome, I'll be honest. This is a complete Vince move, but I wonder if they will bring out Aaliyah Mysterio to take down Rhea. Which would be funny because Aaliyah was involved in a love story with Buddy Murphy, and now Buddy Matthews in AEW. And in real life, apparently, Rhea Ripley is dating Buddy Matthews, apparently in real life. So they could be fighting over their men. I don't think that either one of those ideas are a great idea. Because, it would just be Edge, making it a 3-on-3 just so someone can take out the female. And then Aaliyah Mysterio is not a wrestler at all whatsoever, just a body. So I think that may happen. But I don't want that to happen. We should get a heel turn in this match. But I'm going to mention the 2 scenarios. Someone mentioned, what if Ray turned on Dominic? Which that would be a swerve. The thing is, though, especially also, he could have a reason because he was disappointed that Dominic, was originally going to give in and join the Judgment Day, but they said not like this, and then they basically declined his, acceptance to the invitation. But the thing is, though, isn't the whole reason why Judgment Day got rid of Edge, they were tired of, the old has-beens telling them what to do? Where there's Dominic, who's a lot younger, they could tell what to do. And quite frankly, Rey Mysterio really does not need a heel turn. Dominic Mysterio, though, really needs a heel turn. His character has been... he had the momentum when he first came in, but dear God, has his character gotten so flat as a babyface. If there's a time to take him to the next level, it's time to turn Dominic Mysterio heel. And that's probably what's going to happen. I think they're going to have Dominic turn heel, and it'll help the Judgment Day win. And then we're off to the races and builds that eventual match with father versus son, Rey and Dominic Mysterio. And I'm sure it'll be an emotional feud for Rey Mysterio, how he always is, but it is what it is. So we'll have to wait and see. But I think that's the main thing that's going to happen. I think Dominic's going to turn on Rey. Again, maybe Rey would turn on Dominic. But again, I think it would be dumb knowing that Judgment Day doesn't want to be told what to do by a bunch of older has-beens. Or like I said, Edge does return to even up the odds since Rhea will be out there, or Aaliyah takes out Rhea, which will be very stupid if they did that. But as I said before, the Judgment Day, 2 of the 3 members, again, maybe of course Damian Priest as well, because he's a Triple H guy too. But I definitely feel like those are guys that if Triple H would rely on anyone to carry their divisions, it would definitely be Finn Balor and Rhea Ripley, and even maybe Damian Priest. So I think, that they're going to be the one group that you're going to see a lot of changes from pretty quickly. All right. Pat McAfee and Baron Corbin. Obviously, this is just an eye-catching match just for Vince McMahon. But I'm definitely more intrigued by this because I do like Pat McAfee. I don't like Logan Paul. Pat McAfee will win. And then the main event. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the upteenth time. Better be the damn last time in the undisputed World Championship. Last man standing. Besides, the Fatal 4-Way or the Triple Threats they've been involved in the Steel Cage match, is this really the only other stipulation match they've had? Whatever. I really don't expect much different from this match. I get my hopes up maybe that they will have a good match like they did at WrestleMania 31, but all their matches have been like bad and forgettable, or just fine, but we've seen this how many times? Nothing different, nothing special. I mean, of course, it's going to be a little bit different with, weapons, and, obviously, it's going to be a little more violent and physical with the last man standing stipulation on it. And, of course, if it's true that this is TV 14, this could be a little, more violent than the average viewer for WWE. Sorry, I get a little sleepy. But here's why we'll say needs to happen. At this show, at least, Roman needs to retain. It'd be stupid to have him, because again, someone that could benefit from it needs to take one of the title or both the titles off of Roman. And I'm fine with a Bobby Lashley doing that, or a Drew McIntyre doing that, or even a Cody Rhodes doing that. Or heck, I even said this too the other day. What if Sami Zayn was to win the world title off of Roman Reigns? But Brock Lesnar, he doesn't need to. Now, of course, the big elephant in the room, Austin Theory, who's been heavily teasing a cash-in for SummerSlam. And, it would be the prime time. Especially with this being a last man standing match. Because these guys are going to be beaten down so badly that Theory could probably beat one of them very easily with how beat down they'll be. But it's not time. I'm okay with him putting the briefcase on Austin Theory, but don't waste the briefcase's time, as you've done several times the past several years. You've wasted time with the briefcase, and most of the time, the person who either won or, of course, they would lose the briefcase. It meant absolutely nothing afterwards. They just waste their times. But I think what will happen here is I think Theory will not fail the cash-in, but try to cash in before it can become official. Dolph Ziggler will interfere and take him out because they've been teasing a feud between them. Again, I still think what they should do is have Theory hold on to the briefcase for a while. And, like I said also, he could use a big singles victory over a few, bigger stars. He really hasn't had many big singles victories yet. So, what I think they should do is give Theory time. Maybe not till WrestleMania. Build him up. And at WrestleMania 39, I don't know if it's going to be Cody versus Roman, Cody versus Seth again. Who knows what. But I think to really, capitalize on Austin Theory, give him time, build him up as a star, and then, of course, when he cashes in and wins the title, it should be to ruin Cody Rhodes' moment, which can really generate some more heat. So, I actually would really like that to happen. Roman retains, and then, again, we just wait on Theory fully cash in. He can tease a cash in, but Dolph Ziggler will stop him. Which is just my opinion. And that's my SummerSlam preview and prediction. Sorry, I got a little heavy-eyed towards the end, but, it's just a long week, busy week, and everything. So to go over my picks again, the Street Profits beat the Usos. Ronda Rousey wins by softly cheating. Bobby Lashley retains over Austin Theory for the U.S. title. Logan Paul defeats The Miz. Seth Rollins wins his match, whoever he faces at SummerSlam, if he still does, Bianca Belair beats Becky Lynch in a short match. The Judgment Day beat the Mysterios in a no disqualification tag match after Dominic turns on his father. Pat McAfee defeats Baron Corbin, and Roman Reigns retains over Brock Lesnar. Again, do not give Brock the belts, and again, don't put the belt on Austin Theory yet, in my opinion. Anything else in the live chat? What is Kenny Omega makes his WWE debut and wrestles Roman Reigns, but the undisputed Universal title? That would be pretty awesome. I definitely think the possibility is even bigger than it was before, but it still may be a while before some of the more bigger AEW stars do come to WWE. I think the possibility is still there, though, but we'll see. I think it's going to do. Guys, I'm a little sleepy, so I'm going to lay down for a minute or two and just rest my eyes and then catch up on Dynamite, but that's my thoughts on SummerSlam 2022, my preview and predictions. Like I said, I will try to come up here, sometime either when I get home Saturday or not sometime during the day on Sunday. I will do my SummerSlam live review as we'll see what happens with even though this pay-per-view, again, it still has, Vince McMahon's name written all over it. We'll see if Triple H's influence changes anything up at all. We'll just have to wait and see. So, guys, once again, what were your thoughts on these predictions? Leave your predictions and your thoughts of the show down in the comment section below. And sure be always to slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter as well at DemandAirboy93. And of course, guys, I hope to see you all soon. Have a great rest of your night. I'll talk to you in a little bit for my AEW's Fight for the Fallen review. And then probably a couple short stuff as well. So I'll catch you guys all later. Have a great night. Peace out, everybody.
Yeah, no, I will surprise. There's no escape.